Yes, thank you for taking my call. I'm telling you, the hair at the back of my neck is standing up listening to you. Number one, you're a Bible reader. You know, what's the Bible say? A rich man has as much chance to get into the gates of heaven as a camel does get into the eye of a needle. And as for regulations, you don't believe in the speed limit. But that's not my point. My point is you keep saying the banks are responsible, AGI are responsible. These are human beings in these corporations that are responsible. And if there was a law of treason, these people have done more to harm this country than bin Laden did and the world. And if these people were gathered up and charged with treason, this is the thing. You had the tobacco company go in front of Congress and raise their hand and swear that cigarettes didn't cause cancer. And then they had to come back and admit that they lied. And then they were fined billions of dollars, and then they raised the tobacco products to charge the people they got addicted to the product to pay for their addiction. And nobody in those corporations got sent to prison for lying to Congress. The situation on laws for the rich. You, sir, are fascists. You believe that the corporations are able to rule. This is supposed to be a government of the people, by the people. This is now the government for the corporations, by the corporations.
I think you weren't listening earlier. I haven't said anything in the way of kind words toward corporations using government power to feather their nests. I'm completely opposed to that. I'm opposed to anyone's using government power to feather his nest, whether he's a low-income person or a powerful corporation. My conception of what the government ought to be doing is so limited that it verges on the government's total evaporation. So when big corporations use the government, that's the fascism you're thinking about, I'm entirely opposed to that. Now, what people frequently forget is when they create government power, somebody is going to have an incentive to seize it. And exactly what interest do you think will have that power? Do you think it's going to be poor people who run the government, or do you think it's going to be powerful corporate interests that are able to seize and use government power for their own purposes? People are very naive when they look to government to save the little guy without realizing that it's not the way government operates. Government purports to help the little guy. This is good campaign talk. This is good political rhetoric. But government is not beholden to the little guy. Government is beholden to all those interest groups organized for supporting politicians for office and keeping them there. So if we find that government officials are in bed with corporate interests, we shouldn't be shocked. We should say that's exactly what we should expect. The way to get rid of that problem is to take power away from government. If government didn't have the power to regulate products, then the producers of those products wouldn't be paying off politicians to win their favor for the kinds of regulations that will work best for them. So we need to get realistic about the nature of government and how it operates. To look to it and say it's in the hands of evil men. Of course it's in the hands of evil men. What did you expect would happen when you created government power? That do-gooders would come forth in masses and run the government? That's not the nature of the thing. Remember, it's force. Government is organized coercion. And when you have that kind of power available, it creates an enormous magnetic attraction for the most unscrupulous interests in society. It's like a loaded gun lying there waiting for someone to pick it up and use it for illicit purposes. So create a loaded gun at your own peril.